On the Danube River, between Buda and Pest, is a tranquil green island by the name of Margaret Island, or Margit Island. Once it was known as Rabbit Island, back in the Middle Ages, and was a hunting reserve for Hungarian royalty. Following the successful Mongol invasion of Hungary led by Batu Khan, King Bela founded a convent of nuns on Rabbit Island, and swore that he'd send his young daughter Margaret there, were he to retake his country. When the Golden Hordes withdrew to Mongolia, supposedly upon hearing news of the great Khan Ogaday's death, King Bela stayed true to his word. Margaret served as a nun in the Dominican order for her whole life, and was venerated by the Roman Catholic Church after her death. The island has been named in the honour of Saint Margaret of Hungary ever since, and has become host to parks, flower gardens, leisure centres and 2 spa hotels. After adventuring around Romania and returning to Budapest for a couple of days, I decided to stay at the Ensana Thermal Spa Hotel on the island for some much needed relaxation. Let's check it out, shall we? Good morning from the Thermal Spa Hotel's scruffiest guest. Just looking in the mirror and realising that I'm in desperate need of a shave. Unfortunately I didn't bring anything with me, so I've been travelling around, just letting it grow. Hairs on the back of my neck are just as bad. I am easily the scruffiest person staying probably on the entirety of Margaret Island. So I've got here nice and early. There's only like 3 other people down in the breakfast restaurant. Got myself a coffee, and then I'm going to have a little look at the spread. Starting in this section, we've got all our breads, snacks, croissants, sections of meats, cheeses, cold cuts, feta cheese, hummuses, cottage cheese, a little bit of cottage cheese, capers, some cold pork cuts. Let's give these a try. Kind of terrine. After this section, sauces, frika. Got a bit of frika when you have breakfast in Hungary, right? Over here, traditional eggs, bacon, sausages. I don't want it to be too much of a car crash for breakfast, although this is already looking a little bit random. Made for grapefruit this morning. Both start of the day, not really. Just lots of pork, really. Now we go down to the lobby, which I've never seen in a hotel before. Just lobby, right? I'll just look down on the inside. And now we go on to Margaret Island. So this is another hotel right beside us, separate to the one I'm staying in. And there's the river separating Pest, Buda, and of course Margaret Island just in the centre here. Apparently this tree is 1.5 century old. Can I get inside this church? Doesn't appear so. No, it's locked. This tower was built in 1913 in Art Nouveau style, based on a design by the architect Zielinski Zilord. Now it serves as a lookout tower for people to have views of the whole city. I'm not sure if it's accessible right now for whatever reason. Why? When I'm here, nothing's accessible. Inside here generally houses exhibitions, shows, I guess. it looks abandoned, to give you an impression of how big Margaret Island is. Look how far this road alone stretches. Can't even see the end. So this way there's a thermal bath at closed playground, sports pool, an athletic centre. I don't need any of that. I have all that in the hotel. We've got a nice view over here of Buda. Would be a better view from the top of the tower over there, but it is what it is. Here we have this beautiful little garden right at the back, actually, of the Ensana Hotel where I'm staying. I believe this is the Japanese garden. It is. Quite pretty. The gardeners are here working on it right now. Let's take a little walk around. I'd imagine Margaret Island really comes alive during summer and when there's not a pandemic on and everything's open and people are all in the thermal baths, playing sports in the court behind me, walking around this garden, having picnics. Right now it feels like much of the island is disused. This apparently is an exact replica of an original that stands in Tugamureș, now in modern day Romania. The original, built sometime in the 1820s, this was just built in 1936. Looks like this is going to be the tallest view that we're going to get in Margaret Island since the water tower is not open. And look at this. Arseholes. If you do this, you're an arsehole, I swear. These locks. I'm going to keep the language to a minimum, but I hate you if you do that, you know? Not only is it tacky, it's irresponsible. Enough of these, it starts weighing things down and causing damage. And it's no better than vandalism. It's just what kind of muppet travels to a new destination and thinks, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get an ugly bike lock or some other such padlock and I'm going to stick it to this historical bridge or fountain or any kind of fence. You know, usually it's bridges like in Prague. Just such a scumbag move. Anyway, enough ranting. Just don't do something like that. I've come back round on myself, where my hotel is just here. So I think I'll head back inside. Might slip on my my dressing gown and slippers that they gave me and have a little wander into the wellness spa. Can we get around this? Yeah. In Pest, and I've just stopped at a Slovak style pub slash restaurant for lunch and of course a beer, hysteric moment. I've been recommended the Hungarian Schnitzel, which I look forward to. At the size of this thing. Wow. I'm going to finish this all. I'm quite hungry. I'm glad I walked up a bit of an appetite. Wow, so I've got a bed of potatoes underneath all of this. Hot sauce and onions, carrots. Thank you very much. Cheese. That sauce, rich, thick, I like it, works really well with the schnitzel, potatoes are well cooked. Very impressed. I'm going to attempt to finish this. I'll be back with you. The hotel, and my taxi driver just saved me from the most awkward and comical encounter that I've had So far on this whole trip, I wish I was recording at the time, but I couldn't have just whipped out my camera, otherwise the situation might have gone from comical to ugly. But what happened was, I was sat outside the pub having a drink, and some rather drunk, rather old lady approaches me with a companion, a male. He's sound throughout the whole thing. He doesn't even speak to me really. He's trying to get her away. But anyway, she starts like talking in Hungarian. I say, sorry, I don't understand. She says English. I'm like, yeah. She speaks a couple of words in English that she knows. She doesn't know much, so I'm still not making much sense of what she's saying. She's not making any sense of what I'm saying. The whole encounter is pointless. But then she starts seeming to get like kind of flirty and, you know, pushing the boundaries a little bit, and he's grabbing her arm and pulling her away. It was just a mess, and I was just looking at my phone app, my Bolt app, thinking, this taxi needs to hurry up. This is the longest wait for a taxi I've ever had. Oh, finally when it showed up, I was so relieved. But looking back on it, it's quite funny. I wish I had that on camera. Anyway, back up to my room, get changed, enjoy a bit of time in the spa before heading out for my final night in Budapest. Guys, I went into that wellness centre, one man, and came out another. I clearly really needed some relaxation and spa and self-care. Well, I've checked out my hotel, and I'm sat in this little pebble beach on the banks of the River Buda. Fitting place to think back on the last 2 weeks, my travels, first in Pest, then to Cluj, then to Bucharest, on to Brasov, to Timișoara, on to Szeged for a day, then back here, where I stayed at the Spa Hotel in Margaret Island and explored Buda, as well as returned to Pest for a couple of drinks at night. It's been a wonderful time. I hope it's translated well on camera. I hope you've enjoyed watching my vlogs. If you haven't seen the rest of the series, please feel free to go and check out the rest. I've done videos in all of the different cities that I've visited. So that's it for the Romania and Hungary series of vlogs. Until next time.